by chance, science, or God, Pastor Price gives a message of how ridiculous supposed brilliant minds come up with an asinine idea of by chance that the world took shape and form and intrinsically functions like a well-oiled machine. But of course, I'll let Dr. Price tell it.
We're talking about race, religion, and racism. And last time, just as we got to the end of our message, I had moved us over into the first of the actual three. All before this has been introduction. But now we're getting ready to go into race. And as I said last time, we're not talking about who gets there first. We're talking about this thing called race. You know, white race, black race, brown race, yellow race, red race. We're talking about race. We want to define that. We want to see if we can find out from the Bible point of view, what is this all about? If there is something about it, we need to know what it is. Now, I said last time, and I'll say it again, from this point on, I will be giving you multitudes of references. I will be doing a lot of quoting, a lot of reading. That's why I have to have this notebook, which is a little bit different than my normal extemporaneous type of ministry. But because the facts are so pertinent to the issue at hand, and because the information is so important and so controversial, and people will want to disagree with it, and they want to find fault with it, I want to have so much documented information that you'll have to, in the face of all of that, deny it. Are you following me? So I want to give you name of the book, author, chapter, verse, page number, and copyright date. So you can be checking it out, not thinking I'm just dreaming up something, okay? Because as we go further into this, it's going to be. All right, in the meantime, we're talking about race. Now, the origin of man. We started on this, but I didn't get very far. The origin of man. Where or what did we come from? There are two primary views, scientific and biblical. First, we'll look at the scientific. I think we can sum it up this way by quoting from the Encyclopedia Americana, International Edition, copyright 1979, page 420, from a heading entitled, The Origin of Life on Earth. Now, the reason that I'm going through this is because you will be amazed at the information that we're going to look at. And you will be amazed at I don't want to sound, how would I say this? You will be amazed at the unintelligent intelligence that's going to be demonstrated in some of the things that we're going to read. It's absolutely amazing. But you'll see it in a minute. I'll point it out as we go along. But there are only two views, basic views about the origin of man. Where do we come from? How do we get here? Two basic views, scientific, biblical. You have a choice between the two. Now, from a heading entitled, The Origin of Life on Earth, quote and unquote, the article states, quote, throughout human history and during at least some of its prehistory, men have speculated about the origins of life. In this section, we shall briefly review the previous natural hypotheses of the origin of life and then present the modern scientific viewpoint, a viewpoint or theory that has made remarkable progress since the 1950s. End of quote. On page 424, same book, under a heading entitled Evolution of Life, quote, Evolution of Life, end of quote, the article states, quote, the theory, and I gave you this last time, but I want to reemphasize it because we have new viewers, new people here. The definition of the word theory. See, notice what this article begins by saying, the theory. Okay, and then it's going to make a statement. So we need to understand, what is theory? What is a theory? What's the definition of theory? Well, the word theory means an assumption or guess. Well, I guess this is so. Well, I assume that this is so. So a theory is an assumption or a guess, all right? Quote the article. The theory of biological and Darwinian evolution, first announced in 1859, has been abundantly confirmed by an avalanche of data. Charles Darwin and Alfred Wallace postulated that all life on earth descended from a primordial cell, and that life changed and proliferated due to chance mutations. Now, what threw me off there for a moment is because I have the definition, I wanted to give you the definition of postulated, and I have it right in between in the quote. So anyway, the definition of postulated, listen to this again. Listen to this again. It says, Charles Darwin and Alfred Wallace postulated that all life on earth descended from a primordial cell. Not cells, plural, cell. One. Okay. Now, postulated. Listen to this. This is the definition of postulated. To assume or claim as true. That's a postulation. To claim or assume that something is true. So that means that it might not be true. You're just claiming that it is. I want you to keep these in mind because this is very important to our understanding, because there are a lot of people that have that follow scientific postulations, and they need to be aware of where they're headed. Every journey has a destination. Okay? Now I want to read this again. Quote, the theory of biological or Darwinian evolution, first announced in 1859, has been abundantly confirmed by an avalanche of data. Charles Darwin and Alfred Wallace postulated that all life, say all life, all life on earth, descended from a primordial cell, and that life changed and proliferated due to chance mutations. On page 418 in the same encyclopedia, under a heading entitled Complexity and Organization. Now you got to get this. Listen to this. You got to get this. Listen to this. Listen to this. On page 418, under a heading entitled Complexity and Organization. Quote, end of quote. The article states, quote, another striking characteristic of life, also observable to human eyes that are in front of a thoughtful human brain, is the extraordinary, say extraordinary, extraordinary degree of complexity and of organization in living creatures. A close examination of flowers, insects, or mammals shows an almost incredible, precise arrangement of parts. Kind of sounds like Psalm 139:14. We're wondrously and fearfully made. The article goes on to say, and I quote, this arrangement, watch this now, this arrangement, now remember we're talking about postulation. We're talking about chance mutations. Chance. Come 7, come 11, chance. It's a chance. You don't know what's going to come up. 7, 11, you don't know. Okay? But you got to get this, because this is important about who we are. Because a lot of the things that we're going to get into later all stems from this idea, and it's amazing the things that they have come up with. But listen to this. It says, a close examination of flowers, insects, or mammals shows an almost, incredible, this is the scientist now, incredible precise arrangement of parts. The article goes on to say, quote, this arrangement appears unchanged in countless individuals of a given species. It relates structure to function. That is, the right parts almost invariably appear in the right places.
All right. Excuse me. So far, what he is relaying is from what scientists were saying, is that everything happened by chance. And this is what he's laying out for you, or laying out for us. Everything is by chance. And meticulously, perfectly, all in the right place, by chance. So this is what like I said, this is what Pastor Price is laying out. And, you know, scientists, they're brilliant, smart. But when it comes to humanity, when it comes to the origin of humanity, boy, they missed the mark. They truly missed the mark. But let's continue.
The leaves of the tree are not found below ground, nor its roots up in its branches. This necessary for life organization is of a complexity simply not found in non-living systems. But it's all by chance. I mean, it just, it's a chance. I mean, it just happened. Yet they say it's complex. And I want to use their word, an almost incredible precise arrangement, but it all started with the one cell by chance. You can't be that stupid. It's just by chance that your eye developed so that it can see in color. That just happened. You probably had black and white vision originally. But due to a chance mutation, you now are able to see in color. And then the peculiar thing about it is that then all these chances and mutations began to mutate beyond the bounds of reason, so that from my limited understanding, everybody that's born into the world all come with color vision. Don't have black and white TV eyes. You come with, everybody has color vision, but that's just a chance mutation. It's a mutation. Now, chance was bad enough. Now it's a mutant. See, a lot of things we've just accepted because they told us that, without ever really stopping to think and analyze it. I mean, I don't mind receiving some information if it's got a basis in logic, but just to tell me something and then we go on our whole lives thinking that this is true and then deny the real reason why and where we came from, I think that's a foolish person. I think that a wise person should challenge whatever it is that's presented to me. Give me some kind of verifiable proof on this, to tell me about a chance mutation. I mean, you have a circulatory system in your body just by chance. I mean, your heart pumps blood through the whole body day after day. Think about it. I mean, think about it. If you go back to the book of Genesis, when you think about like Methuselah. Methuselah was supposed to have been the person that lived the longest of any other person on earth. 969 years. And just think, I can't even compute how many hours that is, Doc.
And also, I want to add this. The absurdity of a scientist who doesn't believe in God, but yet willing to believe that by chance everything came about perfectly. By chance.
Well, no, we count heartbeats by the minute, don't we? Correct. So many heartbeats per minute. Can you imagine how many heartbeats we would find in 969 years? And just think that all of that was by chance. Just think that that heart, without anybody attending to it, without a mechanic there to see to it that the spark plugs are changed, that the filters in the carburetor are cleaned out, with no attendance at all, for 969 years, that thing beat minute by minute without ever stopping, all by chance. Just by chance. A mutation. Alien 9. Now, please believe me, I'm not trying to make fun of. I'm trying to get us to seriously look at some things that we perhaps have just accepted because they said so. That's all I'm trying to get you to see, okay? I'm not, please believe me, I would not dare to do that. But some things, because some people can be stupid, see? I mean, it can be done. You know that because, I mean, these same scientists, they tell us that if you smoke cigarettes, it could endanger your health. That there could be carcinogens in there. It could make you could get cancer from it. And the very doctors that put that on or had it put on, or the government or whoever had it put on the label of the cigarette, while they holding the cigarette, reading the label, they puffing on a cigarette. Now, don't that make sense? That's what I call intelligence gone to seed. All right, moving right along. Let's look now at the second, which is the biblical. Now, I want you to remember the terms, because we got this out of the encyclopedia. Remember the terms complexity and organization, as was mentioned in the scientific view, would seem to indicate an intelligent mind at work. Complexity would seem to indicate an intelligent mind at work. And even the scientists tell us that everything seems to be in the right place. I don't understand how something by chance could put things in the right place. I mean, men have a problem putting things in their right place with intelligence. I mean, we purposely try to put things in the right place and we mess it up. Now, how can you tell me that all of this, all of us just got here by chance mutation? Think about this. Now, here is the biblical view, that the scientists, not all, we know that, but the scientific community basically does not give credence to the biblical view. But after looking at it, you tell me which one makes the most sense. Think about it. You know, where'd you come from? How'd you get here? Okay? Now, I believe the Bible is the only place that confirms that there was, and is an intelligent mind behind all of this that we see. Now, in Genesis chapter 1, look at verse 1. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, that's an awesome statement. But it's easier for me to believe that. I mean, we have some more to look at, but I can believe that easier than I can believe that my ability to see is a chance mutation. I mean, it's just easier for me to believe because that would indicate to me, like the scientist says, it indicates an intelligent force or something that put all this together. It said in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So that would mean everything in it. All right, look at verse 11. It says, then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth, and it was so. Verse 12, and the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself, is in itself according to its kind, and God saw that it was good. Now remember, the scientific view tells us that everything came from one, say one, primordial cell. Think about it. So out of one cell, man, it wouldn't have been so bad if it had said a group of cells, but one cell, one primordial cell. Birds, dinosaurs, fish, insects, crawling insects, flying insects, swimming insects. All the animals, all the cats, from pussycat to the lion, all the dogs, all the horses, everything, all came from one primordial cell. But I hope you just saw what it says. Go back and read verse 11. Everybody read verse 11 again. Now wait a minute. Read verse 1. Read verse 1. Everybody read verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, stop. Now go to verse 11.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit, according to its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so.
Now, after its kind, that's the key. After its kind. So that's saying that a one cell couldn't produce both a man and a dog. But that's what they're asking me to believe. Because the man and the dog are not of the same kind. Birds are not fish. They're not of the same kind. Read verse 12.
And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself. And God saw that it was good.
Now notice, go to verse 21. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves. Whoa. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves. So everything that moves, God created. So if it's an insect, God created it. If it's a bird, God created it. If it's a fish, God created it. If it's a mammal, God created it. Whatever, God created it. Watch this now. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded according to their what? Kind, and every winged bird according to its what? Kind, and God saw that it was good. Verse 24, then God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its what? Kind. Cattle and creeping thing and beasts of the earth, each according to its what? Kind. And so was so. It was so. And it was so. Now, just use your head. Chance mutation. One primordial cell. God said everything reproduces after its kind. And you know what? That is absolutely scientifically validatable. Everything produces after its kind. Huh? I don't care how many or what kind of apple you cross with another kind of apple, it's still an apple. Maybe a redder apple, a yellower apple, a fatter apple, a bigger apple, a seedless apple, an apple full of seed, but still an apple. You can crossbreed dogs. You come out with a short dog, a long dog, a dog with long ears, a dog with short ears, a pointed snouted dog, a stubby nosed dog, long legged dog, short legged dog, spotted dog, white dog, black dog, brown dog, all still dogs. Horses the same way. You can have a little Shetland pony, a small horse, big horse, draft horse, thoroughbred race horse, still a horse. And guess what? You can cross breed all humans. Black ones with white ones, with red ones, with yellow ones, with brown ones, and you still get another human. Everything produces after its kind. You don't get animals out of men, and you don't get men out of animals. You don't get birds out of fish, and you don't get fish out of birds as such. But they want us to believe that it's all by chance. God said everything produces after its kind, and it's been doing that ever since God created it. I mean, that's the biblical view. I mean, you have a choice. Whichever one sounds the most reasonable to you, the one that seems to be able to be validated by fact, and we can validate the Bible facts because science themselves has proven it, but they won't accept it that it's God. They still want to say it was a chance happening. One primordial cell, chance mutation. God said he created everything after its kind. Everything. And when he created, watch this now, and when he created man, now some of you are going to get upset with this, but don't waste my time writing me some dumb letter, okay? If you disagree with it, just keep doing what you're doing. I'll never know, will I? So don't even write me, because then that way you'll let the cat out of the bag. But when God made man, created Adam, we'll get into that. Well, let's go on to it now. Let's go to verse 25. Chapter 1, verse 25. It said, and God made the beasts of the earth according to its what? Kind. A cattle according to its what? Kind. And everything that creeps on the earth according to its what? Kind. And God saw that it was good. Now, let's look at verse 26 and 27. Then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Now, we're going to get into that in a little moment, but I want you to catch this latter part of the 27th verse. Male and female, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Them is plural, and male and female would be two, which would qualify for plurality. Notice, he said everything produces after its kind. He said he created male and female. So there's only two. There's only two. You either a male or a female.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. And now, basically, now he's leading into something greater as an overall effect. And it's going to deal with race, it's going to deal with color, all that. But I just want to stop it right there, and then we're going to segue into the next episode. That's why he keeps reiterating of what God said after he created us after, after our kind, so to speak. So just have patience on how he's setting this up. And, and quite frankly, I've had to have patience on it as well, okay? Because I've made this a two-parter. So therefore, just have patience on this. But he's basically setting this up as to say, we're all in this together. We're all. It's not so much about, especially with God. It's not about the skin color. It's mainly like it ended it with male, female as being human, and that's it. That's it. But with racism, man has focused on skin color. And man has used that to the detriment of other men. Man has used that to lord over other men who they think are beneath them, who they think that they are above others. So Pastor Price is putting this into its proper context, but he's coming from the genesis of it, which is why he went back to Genesis to again state what he's about to state. But he's laying it out for us, and he purposely is going to dissect and rightly apply the word so that you can see what he's talking about. So again, be patient about it. Be patient. So until the next video, enough said.